In this video, we'll be looking at the high-resolution 3D seabed charts produced by Seafield Navigation for the TurboWind software family of fishing plotters and mini ECDIS navigation plotters as well. The 3D charts are not suitable for navigation. In this video, we'll be looking at the folios covering the sea areas for the Orkneys, in this department here, and also the Shetlands further north here. So we shall switch off the areas and start to zoom in. So we'll take a look at the Orkneys for a start. In amongst the islands here, it's quite shallow water. Inside the 6-mile limit, we'll just pick our way through the shallower features. I'll switch off this background colouring on the 2D chart to leave the contours at roughly every metre and some basic blue shading from the navigation chart to indicate shallows. So we'll just take a look in here. And again we have somewhat mixed seabed. Quite uneven, probably quite rocky. And as we travel further north a little bit, we'll be able to see further out these ledges. So very clear ledging here. Harder surface coming out, then falling away at the edge of the rock with possibly definitely a channel here, a crack in the seabed, shallow here, deeper depressions here, and again deeper depressions here along the edge. If we go up into this area here to, we've got Westray I think here and Swansea. We'll just start to take a look at this. So the dominant shallow area here at 11, 9, 10, 11 fathoms. But the actual shape of it is somewhat different. So we have quite a hard object in the seabed. With other features around it running away from it. So now we'll come across the bay to this western side. Again, looking at very prominent seabed features. contours are 1 metre spaced. And as we move across further out into the bay, we'll see more of these fingers reaching out. Keep going north. And we're coming to a more dominant feature here. So quite shallow, or shallower. So we're looking at 12, 13 fathoms of water here to the top of this ridge, falling away to almost 30 fathoms on each side. And certainly to here in this shallow, this deep depression here. We'll go round to the west side of the Orkneys to the area called the North Shoal. This area here. Just zoom in a little bit. A very confused seabed. But you can see the different ridges creeping out from the harder areas and their adjacent deep channels caused by currents and tidal scours. And these charts should be looked at in conjunction with our coverage diagrams, which is featured in another video, to show you where the actual surveys have been processed at. So again, we'll continue north here up onto the North Shoal. And again, these much cleaner ground on the east side here. This deeper trench at 40-45 fathoms with a small ridge up the centre of it. Just a 1 fathom high ridge. Again, picking out a 1 fathom high ridge from a moving boat is almost impossible, but these charts present it to you quite clearly. And again, as we continue, we fall into a deeper channel at 50 fathoms with a small seabed feature here, probably about a half mile long, 3/4 mile long. And if we come down inside the 6 mile limit here, this headland here will project out into the sea to give this ridge that we can see on the 3D chart, with a second ridge. The main ridge runs east-west, but we've got another one running north-south here as well. So again, you can see this, the 1 metre spaced seabed contours. And again, if we paint a wash on the navigation screen, these edges start to become very dominant in the image. We'll come down to the mouth of the Hoy Sound, where you have a spur and a family of ridges coming out. shallow spur here at 28, 29, 30 fathoms with a ridge running in this direction and another finger coming out here. And again, as you'd expect, a deeper basin, we have water emptying out of the sound. So as we zoom in a little bit here, we should start to see some seabed detail. This is the spur at the mouth of Hoy Sound, shallow. These little, I do know some sea netters have been working here in the past, and again these small rises in the seabed will yield fish, but as you can see they are a little bit challenging. The seine net ropes coming along the bottom would probably catch on these. So better to stay away from these outcrops here and work in this cleaner area here. So that's we'll take a look towards Strathy Point here. A lot of squid gets taken off this coast. And you can see why there's a 6 mile limit there in the red. And again these swirls of ridges on the seabed with depressions. Possibly we'll go further north now. This deeper area here, take a look at that, 100 fathoms. Again, quite confused seabed. So if we continue in a little bit, we can see the tight pinch contours here, indicating a steep slope. Then we have a steep sided slope here. We'll zoom out a little bit. Much more of these features creeping away into the north. And probably away towards Fair Isle up here. We'll be able to see a very deep scour in the Fair Isle channel. Very strong tides in this channel. So we can see this scour here, not indicated in the navigation chart. But almost sheer sided. Depth wise it's 100 fathoms, falling away from a 56 fathom flat surface around it. The western edge is vertical, eastern edge has got a much gentler slope. So we can see at the steepest slope here it is completely vertical almost. And if we take a look further west, we've got a bank running here at 40 fathoms. This deeper trench here, 40 fathom bank here, a deeper trench here, largely broad, generally speaking broad, 50 fathom, 55 fathoms deep. We'll keep creeping up towards the Shetlands. Take a look in here just on the 6 mile limit. We've got a shallower water at 40 fathoms falling away to 50, 58, 60 fathoms. A small peak here. And again, sea netters would be able to work on this peak, 60, 55, 53 fathoms, falling away to 59, 60 fathoms. This is on a 1 to 2,500 scale, 680 metres to the screen, north-south. Keep working our way up into the north. Again, very interesting seabed features here, harder ground. These isolated outcrops indicate rock. Again, tight contours here indicating a very steep side to this feature. And this feature here also very steep sided. It's about 6 metres high off the seabed. Take a look further around the islands. The banks start to, and the shallower waters start to become more prominent. These shallow banks here, 23 fathoms, 20 fathoms, very hard ground. Falling away into deeper water, 40, 45 fathoms, with the start of some ridges working their way north. Keep zooming in on this feature here, so we can see it has very pronounced shape. And again, the 1 metre contours indicate this is about 20 metres high off the seabed. These ridges continuing in a northwest crescent direction. We'll take a look in this bay here. Again, very clear seabed features, not on the navigation charts. You can see the general direction of the geology. On the tops of these features. Channel on the eastern side. But again, having this information to precisely position your fleets of fishing gear makes it a whole new experience. Remember, this is information available off the peg. These charts are available off the peg for the TurboWin navigation, plot and fishing systems. We'll go around the north side of Shetland up to north end of Unst. Some features in the seabed here. Again, quite rocky, I would suggest. Come down in here. A reasonably smoother basin of seabed. And further out we start to get more uneven seabed. Quite rocky it looks like. We'll jump across to the east side of the islands. Take a look in here. Again, some strong ridges on the seabed. We'll continue north along this ridge. See this finger stretching north, shallowing out again at this end. And again, continuing north, there's 51 fathoms of water. Come out against this island here. And we'll take a look at the eastern side of this island. 23 fathoms of water. So again, we can see a channel, some hard, uneven seabed here, running up into shallower water here. Okay. At the end of the video, we'll have the list of outlets where these charts and the TurboWin family software can be sourced. These charts cover from Shetland down along the west coast of Ireland and the west coast of Scotland, all the way around Ireland, down at the English Channel and up the east side of the UK again, as well as taking in northern France.